Hey everyone. So what I'm here to show you today is this really cool little adapter kind of invention. It's called Griffin Grips, and it's from a guy called Steve Grisé. He's on Facebook. I'll put a link in the comments of this video and you can go there and find his stuff. But he makes these things, and so basically, essentially, they're extenders, and they're made to fit on a bunch of different types of snare drum cradles, baskets, if you will. And basically, what they do is they go on these arms, and they just kind of slip on like this. And now, your average snare drum stand, which would only before maybe accommodate, a 14 to a 16-inch drum if you're lucky. Whereas, your standard snare drum basket doesn't get that wide. Now you can put on these extenders and you can fit really large drums on your average snare drum stand, and you don't need these crazy weird big stands that eventually fall apart. And these things are small, they're lightweight. I'm not sure if they're 3D printed. They could be. They kind of look like they are. But they're super lightweight, and they travel easily, and you just slip them on like this. Now I will say that you want to make sure, and on his website there's a list of stands that work. With his Griffin Grips, I had to go through a couple different stands in my personal collection until I found some that did work. This one is the Yamaha Crosstown lightweight snare drum stand. It works on this, and I love it because it's super light. So just to show you how this works now, I got a couple of really large drums that wouldn't fit on a normal stand. So this one, for example, Doff, it is 21 inches. Easily fits, okay? And then you basically just bring it up, use your little twister guy on your snare drum stand. And then boom. The thing I like about this is that there's some other things like Remo makes some, LP makes some, Schlagwork of course made some, but they're frame drum holders, and it's great if it's a really light frame drum that can easily suspend. But this is super duper steady. It's not going anywhere. You don't have to worry about the tilt and falling. And for light stuff, you can use anything, but this has a lot of stability, right? And this is a fairly light drum. But if we're talking about a super heavy drum, the average frame drum little holder piece that you attach to a cymbal stand, you gotta counterweight it, you gotta have really large legs, because something heavy like this is fairly heavy. This is a compact Surdo from Brazil, and it has metal hardware on it. It's a metal drum. It's got a weighted head, so it is fairly heavy for what it is. But again, it fits, and this is not going anywhere. And you can play it with mallets, you can play it with your hands. I recently got these Griffin Grips for a gig that I needed this Doff drum for, and it worked perfectly. And it's also nice because you can, depending on your snare stand, you can get it high, you can get it low, for whatever you need. And then also, some other things that a standard frame drum holder wouldn't work for, like a deeper drum. Something like this. This again is fairly heavy. This is a Keller shell, basically a bass drum that was cut down to make a nested sort of set that fit inside here. This is fairly heavy, but again, your average frame drum holder wouldn't hold this because it's such a deep, this is, of course, there's deeper drums, but something like this, I mean, you could, if you got it low enough, you could fit a, you know, a smaller bass drum on these, but there you go. The Surdo is just short of 21. This is 19. But again, I think this accommodates up to a 24, I think. I'll hopefully superimpose the actual dimensions of the minimum and the maximum. But there you go. Set up right there. And then also the nice thing is, since it is on a snare drum stand, right, you can tilt it any which way you need, right? And there you go. You got a drum that's tilted and it's still being supported. And it's still holding really well on it with the Griffin Grips. So there you go. So again, these are Griffin Grips by Steve Grisé. And they're lightweight, they're compatible, they're easily travelable. You do need to make sure that they fit on the snare stand. Like, not all snare stands will fit these, but on his site, it does tell you which stands are compatible. But there you go, Griffin Grips, and I love it. It's my new thing that I keep in my pocket of my bag, so anytime I need to set something up, I can. So there you go. Hope that helps. Enjoy.